251? What the hell is that then? Welcome back to Sax Wizard, where we use internet sorcery to improve your sax playing. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what a major 251 is. Maybe you just keep hearing the term 251 and have absolutely no idea what it is, or maybe you have a vague idea but you're just looking for a bit more clarity. Either way, at the end of this video, you should understand everything you need to know about this important jazz chord progression. In order to fully understand what a major 251 is, first, we'll look at some basic music theory. We're going to use C major as our example today. A C major scale looks like this: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Each note in the major scale is given a scale degree and a special name. These names aren't really that important, they're just nice to know. C is the first note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 1 and is called the tonic. D is the second note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 2 and is called the supertonic. You can see where this is going. E is the third note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 3 and is called the mediant. F is the fourth note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 4 and is called the subdominant. G is the fifth note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 5 and is called the dominant. A is the sixth note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 6 and is called the submediant. And finally, B is the seventh note in the scale, so is assigned the Roman numeral 7 and is called the leading tone. On top of this, each scale degree or Roman numeral has a specific chord tone that's associated with it. 1 is always a major chord. In the example of C major, 1 is a C major 7 chord. 2 is always a minor chord. In the example of C major, 2 is a D minor 7 chord. 3 is also always a minor chord. In the example of C major, 3 is an E minor 7 chord. 4 is always a major chord. In the example of C major, 4 is an F major 7 chord. 5 is always a dominant chord. In the example of C major, 5 is a G dominant chord. 6 is always a minor chord. In the example of C major, 6 is an A minor 7 chord. And lastly, 7 is always a minor 7 flat 5 chord, also known as a half diminished chord. In the example of C major, 7 is a B minor 7 flat 5 chord, or a B half diminished chord. You'll notice that all of these chords only use notes from the C major scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. There aren't any notes which fall outside of the C major scale. And this is what people mean when they say that the chords are diatonic to C major. Technically, you can play any of these chords together in any order, and theoretically they would sound okay. And this is the basis for a lot of writing chord progressions for songs. Right, so that's the theory part out the way, so let's get back to our major 251 chord progression. If we take the 2 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord, and put them in that order, 2, 5, 1, we get a major 251 chord progression. It's that simple. And a major 251 in C major looks like this: D minor 7, G dominant, and C major 7. The reason why this chord progression is so popular in jazz is because it builds tension through the 2 and 5 chords, and then the tension resolves when we get to the 1 chord. So you can play some really nice licks over these chords. I really hope that this was a bit of a light bulb moment for you, and you now fully understand why these chord progressions are called major 251s. This chord progression is just so common in jazz music. Some jazz standards are almost completely made up of different major 251s, so they're really important to get your head around. Try and look through a couple of jazz standards and see if you can spot any major 251s. You might be surprised just how many you find. You'll also see different variations on the 251, such as 2/5s without the 1 chord, and also 2/5-1 6s. If you did learn something new today, then please drop me a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next one.